Hey everyone, it's Ryan Howe with Small Business News. I got a good one for you today. Job growth remains anemic on Main Street. Now, this is from the NFIB August Jobs Report. The report has some really fascinating information that I want to make sure that I get out to you today. For those that don't know, this is the program where I share just some of the information I share with my clients every single day. I'm a business coach who works out of West Michigan and around the country, and I hope to earn your subscription today. As always, links are going to be in the description down below, so be sure to check that out. The NFIB's August Job Report found that 40%, this is seasonally adjusted, of small business owners reported job openings they could not fill in August, up 2 points from July. For those that don't know how this report works, pretty simple. NFIB sends out a survey to their members every single month. They consolidate the data, do the math, then they deliver back to their membership as well as to the public at large to give data directly from the small businesses that hasn't been filtered through the government. It's supposed to be a better look at what's going on. Now, job openings on Main Street remain historically high as small business owners continue to lament the lack of qualified applicants for their position, said one of our favorite people, NFIB Chief Economist Bill Dunkelberg. Owners have grown understandably frustrated as attempts to fill their workforce repeatedly stall and cost pressures continue to rise. Now, we're going to switch over to the actual report itself and take a look at some of those charts. But that is something that I'm seeing with all my clients, and I'm hearing throughout pretty much every industry, is that it is the skilled labor is still a challenge. And that's where I am reminding all of my clients that we're on the cusp of the next leg of the Great Resignation. And that first round of the Great Resignation was really for the lower to middle tier folks, your skilled and semi-skilled. And now it's moving into the actual skilled positions because wage pressures have dropped to the point where now business owners are not necessarily looking to provide raises at the same rate that they have been in the past. And for individuals who want to get a pay raise, they're going to have to start looking to other companies. And that's what's going to drive the next leg of the Great Resignation. So let's get right into the charts here. The NFIB's August survey, 40% seasonally adjusted of all business owners reported job openings they could not fill in their current period. So let's look at this chart. Now when we're looking at this is an annual chart you'll see down here, and they report quarterly on the numbers. And you can see where it's popped back up here. We had COVID lows as far as unfilled job openings. And it screamed to the top up here. Around 50% of folks had unfilled job openings. And what's happened since 2022 is that the number of jobs has just gone away. They have cut and cut and cut the number of non-operations focused jobs that are there, as well as a lot of businesses just going under. Now, here's the thing. If I were to look at this saying, hey, where should we be on the percent of unfilled job openings? You want to find historically, you want to find wherever it hits the most things. And that's right around 25%. A healthy economy, it should be somewhere around 25% of businesses have some sort of openings. Just think about that. And we're upwards of 40. So let's go on to the next piece here, which is going to be industry percent with job openings. And what I love about this, it is a year over year comparison, which really is helpful when you're looking at, because they throw seasonality in these numbers all the time, and it really does kind of make you think, okay, well, what does it mean seasonally adjusted? Forget all that. Let's look data point to data point where they were both technically seasonally adjusted, and we should be able to glean some information from that. Let's look at transportation, 66%. That's huge versus last year, 29%. Construction, I think construction is always going to be it has a high turnover. Just it is what it is. I think a lot of folks when they get in construction don't realize what it is. But services is down. Now, why is services down? So why are services reporting less job openings? Anyone? It's because the service sector has been absolutely decimated, and the number of bankruptcies and frankly, the number of job losses there have been huge. There aren't as many positions available, so they should be reporting less openings. It's basic supply and demand. The supply of jobs has gone down as a vast number of service companies have just gone out of business. That's what we're dealing with, folks. So let's get into our next piece here, which is job creation plans. Now, job creation signals growth in the overall business. And what you're looking for is that number to be, obviously getting bigger, right? But it's just in the next 3 months where they plan to create a new job and, obviously hire for that new job. The thing to keep in mind here is that it's not just a 3-month wag. No one creates a job just to then shut it down in 3 months or 4 months later. It's meant to be an enduring piece. Yes, there's some projects involved, and I'm not talking about those. So when we are looking at this particular chart, what I'm seeing is, hey, what does it look like as far as for business owners, their opinion of where the economy is going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, because it costs a lot of money to not just create a job, but hiring and bringing someone on. The average onboarding cost by industry is about $10,000 per person for an unskilled spot. It's about $10,000 is what it costs a business to bring somebody on. So when they are talking about creating a job, it's meaningful that they're saying, okay, I'm investing this $10,000 knowing that for the next few years, I'm going to be able to get a return on my investment. I want you to think of it that way. So let's look at these job creation plans. A seasonally adjusted net 13% of business owners plan to create new jobs in the next 3 months, down 2 points from July. And job creation plans are below the level seen the last time the economy experienced solid growth. Overall, 62% reported hiring or trying to hire in August. Now that's up 5 points from July. That's a good thing. Of those, 56% of the owners reported few or no qualified applicants for the positions they were trying to fill. That's up 7 points and the highest since September 2023. So let's look at the qualified job applicants chart. Now, this has two different parts that are measured on here. And what we'd like to see to signal a healthier job environment is the blue line going down at the same time that the red line's going up, which would mean there are less business owners reporting that there were no qualified applicants. And then the red number saying, hey, we're actually getting a few or more qualified job applicants in, which is good, which is what you want to see. In this case, the number of qualified job applicants has gone up at the same time that business owners are also reporting that they're not finding qualified applicants. Here's my big concern with that. That signals two things to me, and this is what I talk to my clients about. Number one, they probably don't have their job description correct, would be my guess. They're not updated. Something is wrong with that job description. But number two, and this is the important part of where we're currently at, they need to raise the wage. The wage is not high enough to get those individuals who are currently employed who are looking for a pay raise but can't get it in their current employer. They're looking to you, business owner, to raise the wages to entice them to leave their company, all right? That's what's happening here. Now, onto our next piece, which is the single most important problem, which it's always labor quality. It always is, followed by labor costs. And you see labor costs are definitely rising. They're coming down a little bit because folks are not giving raises out anymore. But let's talk about the labor quality piece, right? Labor quality has and will continue to be an issue in this country and everywhere else until we are able to figure out a way. I'm looking at you educators. This is you teachers. This is you parents. This is you colleges. Till we can figure out a way to energize the vast majority of our students to learn the requisite skill sets to be successful in a technology-based economy. We still don't do that, and it's not structured that way at all. This is coming from somebody on a school board. We know this is an issue, but in order to affect some fundamental change, there would have to be a complete rethink of how we do education as a whole, and frankly, there's too many government jobs and too much money tied up into it and at stake for them to make huge changes that are needed. All right, then let's look at the last piece here, which is our planned and actual labor compensation changes. This is where I was talking about from the beginning here. We don't even need to go into the percentages. You can just see increased compensation. Since 2022, business owners have not been raising wages. And then at the same light, plan to increase compensation. There have been these bump ups where they've had to plan to increase compensation as it's been dropping because there is not enough skilled labor in the workforce. Now, again, links to this are going to be in the descriptions. Please go check this out if you're interested. As always with this report, it's meant to highlight, hey, this is the current environment that your HR folks are having to work in. Like, that's really where this comes down to is, okay, all right, business owners, are you planning to grow? If you are planning to grow, what does that look like? And this is the difficult piece that hiring managers are up against, but it's not an excuse. It's just a reason. HR, you still got to find a way to get these people hired and get them trained and deliver on your responsibility to provide the human capital to the company. But with a shrinking pool of qualified candidates, the only way that you are going to find qualified candidates currently is two things need to happen. One, needs to be a huge increase in the number of layoffs. Like huge, as in a lot of your competitors are going out of business. So that way those individuals are now available. And or two, you're going to have to raise the starting wage for those positions in order to entice those individuals who are looking for a pay raise in companies that aren't looking to raise compensation to get them to move and hitch their wagon to you. All right, so anyways, that's the NFIB jobs report for August. Hopefully I earned your subscription today. Take care, and I will see you next time.